Namaste everyone. Very warm welcome to Satsang today. Sadhguru Sri Muji Baba ki Jai. As with all actions, these words also emerge on their own. There could be some anticipation to hear what is going to be said, and there can be some anticipation here also to hear what is going to be said. And your life becomes an instrument in the service of the Sadguru. You'll find that all of this, what words you speak, what actions happen through this body, all of them so become like his doing through this body. Now the secret is that it has actually always been this way. You're only coming into the recognition of it now. But it must also be said that in this play of consciousness, the flavor with which even the body-mind organism plays, once this recognition has happened in that aspect of consciousness, seems to be quite different from the flavor in that aspect of consciousness where it seems like attachment to the individual identity is still there. So ultimately all is the doing of consciousness. But once it is seen that all is the doing of consciousness or the Sadguru, whatever term we might want to use, then it can seem like consciousness is bringing a certain fragrance, a certain perfume in that presence. That is why that presence attracts all of us to come to the holy feet of the Master, even in his physical form. We can say that consciousness knows in its design that it has convinced itself so much to relate to name and form that it seems like a big, helpful tool when the Master also seems to appear as name and form. What is the true Master always saying? That I am just an instrument, I am the tool to point you to the Sadguru within. Sadguru within, not within the body, but within you. So this is the outer play of Satsang, bringing you to your own inner Satsang. These words are actually arising within you. It is just that you feel that you are limited to a certain area. So it can feel like these words are coming from a separate object called Ananta or something. And the mind will come and say, but when will this be my experience? And I want to tell you that it is already your experience. You are experiencing only reality, but you are interpreting oneness with division. You are interpreting, making division where none exists. Where is this voice? Is it outside you? This voice that you're hearing, where is your experience of it? And is there any voice besides your experience of it? You see, the perceiving of it is the happening of it. The perceiving of it is the action itself, is the existence of that phenomenal object itself. Can you confirm that something exists unless your attention is on it or you're perceiving it? Even scientists have not been able to confirm. That's why you have the experiments like Schrodinger's cat. And there is no observer, is there really a cat? But to put it simpler, there is nothing which is of your concern unless it is your experience, isn't it? Isn't it? That much we can agree on. Unless it is your experience, it does not concern you. So that which is your experience is only inside you. So this you, does that have a boundary? Does that have a limitation? That in which the sensations of the body are experienced. The perceptions of the body are experienced. Does that have a location? All that is perceived. Where is the perceiver of that? The hearing of these words is happening for who? Who is hearing them? Where is that one? And is that one just a belief? Is it? What we have considered ourselves to be is just a belief. Beliefs change. Truth does not. There is nobody here who has believed the same thing about themselves since they were 5 years old till they're here now. Isn't it? So beliefs have changed. What has been the truth about you? What is real about you now? What is real about you? And we said, no, let's use two filters today to define reality. First is, it does not come and go. The second is, it is your direct insight about yourself. It is not made up, not conceptual, and not heard from somewhere else. Can we use these? So if we use these two filters, and I ask you, what is real about you? Tell me something. Which is not a concept you heard from someone, and it is not imagination, and it does not come and go. What is it? Anything lives up to this?
Yes.
Yes. Any other answer?
Where these words are being heard,
Yes.
that lives. Where now,
Yeah.
where you ask, this perceiver, and who is.
Yeah. Now, stay with that. Very good. Don't interpret it in any way. Stay with that. And just like if you were looking at a coconut, you would say it is green, it is sort of a semicircle. Describe that without adding any layer of knowledge, just like a child. That which hears all of this, or that space in which all of this is heard, what would you say about that? Same thing you can look for awareness also. Like awareness. What can you say about it? Empty of any knowledge about it, empty of any concept about it, any belief about it.
Just seems to know that it exists itself. Other than that, there is nothing to disturb.
That which witnesses even this is which one?
This is
How many are following what I'm saying? Following? I said, tell me one thing that is real about you. And to tell me that it is real, it must satisfy these two things. One, that it cannot be something that comes and goes. And second, that it must not be just conceptual, imagined. It must be your direct insight. For some time, let's say everything else is useless. Yeah? For some time, let's say everything else is useless. For some time, okay, we are not in denial of the world appearing. So, what is real about you?
this can't speak to describe itself.
Can't describe anything.
You will have to.
But I say, for example, how can you presume that it is there unless you see it qualitatively? Isn't it? If I say there's a cat in that, okay, let's pick on another animal. There's a rat in that bathroom, huh? And you say, okay, maybe it's me, you'll believe it. But if somebody came and said, there's a rat. So won't you say, have you seen it? You say, but have you seen it? They say, no, no. Did you hear it? No. Are you getting a intuitive sense? No. Are you getting a feeling? Is it? No. Then will you still believe that there is a rat in the bathroom? Is it? You will want some phenomenal evidence. You see, for the self, what evidence is there? See? This is the confusing part for many because they are expecting to find the self as if you find that rat. You will hear it or you will have an experience of it. the term recognition also can be confusing in that way. Because it can feel like I have to recognize something. But it is not a thing. It is more natural than that. What recognizes all things? Is that itself a thing? What is aware of perception? Getting some reports online also. So there can be a sense that there is someone being aware. You see? And that is worthy of our investigation. You see? Is there really a someone, means some object? Like many times we would use a term like the witness. And then you say that even the witness is not there, it is just a witnessing itself. So this is what Kalima is also saying, that there can be the sense, yes, there is awareness, but it feels like there is a someone that is being aware. But actually there is no evidence of this one that has the quality awareness. You see? If there was, then that itself should have some other quality. Like if it was a someone, can there be a someone without any quality? You know what I'm saying? Can there be any object without a quality, without an attribute, let's say? So besides awareness, what else does it have? If there was a someone being aware, then one of its qualities would be awareness. What else does it have? Does it have a size, a shape, a color? And we find that there is no, all of the qualities are impossible here. It is so empty of all of this. You see? That's why we can say that the self itself is awareness. As Bhagavan said, self is awareness. I like this, one of the shortest quotes ever. Self is awareness. You see? So, because self, why do we call it self?
Because it's me. I mean, in the sense, not the. You know, it's like when you said this. Can somebody see that?
Now, very good. Okay, so say that. So, it's me. Why do we call it self?
Because it's your.
Yeah, you said you find. What about the others? See, why I'm, you know why I'm saying this? Because many times we have got into this mode. To awareness, nothing is happening. You see? But what about me? Like many times, especially when something is happening in life, then I hear a lot of these reports that yes, Ananta, you will, I know, will take us straight to awareness, but you will not talk about me at all. And I'm like, but I am talking about you. Is there any other you? You see? So that's why, although it can sound simple, that the self is awareness, there's a reason why it is the self. It is your own self. There is no other self. You see? Now, another confusion that can happen for you is that, okay, then what about this moving thing? That which we call consciousness, being, the dynamic aspect of the self. That is also a part of you. Whether we label that appearance, coming and going, whether we label it the qualitative aspect, whether we call it wave, the fact is that there is one self, one hand with this quality of finger, which can arise qualitatively and vanish qualitatively. Waking up, going to sleep, waking up, going to sleep, born, dying, born, dying. Does this make it two hands? Does the arising of the finger make it two? Just some very subtle things which I'm pointing out because we get stuck with them. You see? It is not that you are arises. It is I am. As amness is arising, it remains I am. If this is I, and am is coming, being is coming, then being comes, being goes. I is the same I. So the self is the same. Whether it is playing in the qualitative aspect, which is called the Saguna Swarup, or it is playing non-qualitatively, which is Nirguna. It is just one self. That is why I asked you the other day, what remains unchanged even when waking state comes? Same way, what remains unchanged even when waking state goes? And if it is you, then how do the events of the waking state touch you? How can an appearance hurt you? An appearance can only hurt another appearance. Agreed? Huh?
Sort of, but it can't really.
Yes, in a way. But if it had the power, it could have only hurt another appearance. You see? So a knife can cut another object. You see? In that way. So, in reality, how can an appearance hurt you unless you consider yourself an appearance? How can you be hurt by anything happening? So, what do you consider yourself to be? We always come back to that. Do you consider yourself to be an object? Does that object satisfy the conditions of reality which I placed? So at least I don't know we must be now, there now. At least. Even if it is not so clear that I am awareness or the self. Even these filters are placed. What is real about you? And I say that which is real must be that which does not come and go, is not conceptual, that which is your direct insight. You will either come to, with integrity if you are checking, you will either come to this inarticulate, I don't know, or to the words like I am the self, the unchanging, the unborn, the qualityless, the attributeless. Both are good enough. The I don't know is good enough. Why is it good enough? Because true knowledge is just the dropping of the false. Is it? So although you might not yet have the articulation about the self or awareness or all this Brahman, is it? But as you're empty of any concept about yourself, you come to this beautiful I don't know. Is it? Then in this, the truth is already apparent to you actually. Is it? Unless you feel I don't know as a I, which is again an object. Can we speak like this? Unless you're using the concept I don't know means you must forget everything that you know about yourself, including all limitations. I said that in the looking for reality, with these clues, you will come to the discovery of the self. But many times it can feel like I come to this place where I don't know. And I said, this I don't know is good enough unless what you're actually meaning is that I as an object or I as my name doesn't know. See what I'm saying? So unless you're reinforcing the belief in a limited I, using even the concept I don't know, then a pure I don't know, which is empty of even this notion about yourself, is good enough. Changelessness is changelessness also not a quality? Or is this word just used to describe the indescribable? Yes. So,
Wait.
all that is a quality, you see, all that is an attribute is phenomenal. Because it can be perceived. So, all that has qualities is in the realm of change. That which is beyond the realm of change is empty of attributes and qualities. So, in a broader definition of quality, you could say its only quality is that it is qualityless. But you know what I mean. That which is in the realm of qualities, hot or cold, hot can become cold, cold can become hot. Sweet or sour, sweet or salty, bright or dark. You can have all these qualities which are constantly changing. Now we are talking about that which is outside the realm of qualities. Now in a bigger definition, if you want to say that its only quality is qualitylessness, I have no argument with that. But yes, truly we are using it in the sense that it is outside this qualitative play of opposites. Let's put it that way. Qualitative play of duality. I know that no thing, only awareness, can know itself. But it feels like I always let this be a personal discovery. And then it starts feeling like a task. Exactly. Because this is our habit, you see. That's why I've given this cat example. The cat wanted so many other things, and now it wants freedom, or it wants awareness, or the self. So it can feel like the cat is coming to this discovery. That's why I asked who is aware of even this awareness. Is there something personal about that one? Let's even make it simpler. You exist, that which knows of your existence. Is that personal? You have to speak from your checking.
It seems to be a mix of the two, not of what the objects of experience are, but of deepness and which is non-phenomenal and can be described, but yet is mixed with the beingness and then the sense that there is this presence that extends out into phenomenal experience.
Yes. Yes.
So the mix is always, it seems to always be there.
Yes. So as long as the waking state is there, the experience will always be of this dynamic finger also there. You see? So that is one self. What I was asking was, is there something personal about that one which knows of your existence? You see? So it is the self which is coming to this play of recognition of itself. You see? In its dynamic movement. Because in its non-dynamic movement, even the concept of recognition does not apply. Even the concept of delusion does not apply. You see? So it is the one self, but there is no personal witness to this self. So the person has never existed. It is like the finger checking back on its own source, and therefore coming to the recognition of its true self. In the sleep state, are you confused about who you are? It's not possible, it's absurd, isn't it? Still this sense I am appears, and then it appears, and then it has been playing as I am something, I am something, I am something, I am something. And now all the somethings are being dropped, and it is recognizing I am I, big I.
Yes.
That's why you can say I am that.
It's still phenomenal, and it still is not experiencing awareness itself. Because it is only, it's coming and going also. In the
Yes.
waking state.
Yes,
So
yes,
it's a,
yes. It's just like,
it's a strange sense of like seeing two pictures, but seeing
but it is not really a perception in that way. So
No.
although I might say that it is coming to a recognition of itself, it is not like awareness can be perceived as in any objective way. It is just like a deeper self-knowingness, but not a conceptual knowingness, not a perceptual. Just simpler is that you know that you exist, and you know that you exist. Now, many make fun like this and say, oh, but this is infiniteness. I know that I know that I know that I know that I exist. No, not true. If you truly have walked like this, you see, you will find that I know that I exist and I know that I know. There is the same knowingness, knowing itself. There is no step further back is possible. It is not an infinite regress. It is infinite regress only if we are doing this mentally. Like we're following along mentally. That's why we can feel like, oh, this is just right. This is endless. It is not. Once you come to the self, there is no further step back. There is no further step back from the absolute. That is why this I, although it is nothing, although it is no thing, can never become nothing. Because otherwise this I would also be a coming and going. This self, although it is a no thing, it is never nothing. But that which you consider yourself to be is never anything, is always nothing. And all this, I'm just saying as an invitation for your own insight about all of this. As you stay with the inquiry, what is real? Who am I? And filter out for some time all that is in the realm of change. You will see that this is not a thing, and yet it is I, the self. Somebody from some other tradition might say, I have come to the discovery that there is no self. That could be a difference in terminology, but actually, even in that statement, it tells you that the I that has come to this discovery is the self itself. It is not a thing. But if you continue to call it, I have come to this discovery. So either we have come to the discovery or we are making it up. If we have come to this discovery or to make it up, then it's to be that which is the substratum for both these possibilities. Are we getting too technical today? It doesn't sound like that to me. I just keep saying as if. To me, it sounds like sweet talk.
It's very direct.
Father, can we then say also that the self doesn't actually have a will? I mean, only when in this creative play can there be concept of a will.
Yeah. See, that's what happens. That once you start getting into the world, what is the world, why does it come, and how does it function, then we have to create concepts about that which is conceptless. Like we can say, this absolute, this non-phenomenal self, we use terms like had the urge to experience itself as something qualitatively. But if you're looking at it intellectually, you'll say, how can that which is so empty of quality have an urge? So actually there is no answer. Because in reality, we cannot even say whether any of this has ever happened. But we'll give you our answer to remove the question.
Because when I in Satsang some days ago, whenever, it is that nothing can happen without the permission of consciousness, the I am. So, I just, when I look at it from I am something point of view, it sounds absurd to me. And when we just stay as that, that attributeless thing, that I am finally will, then we don't see a will, a need for a will. So I'm just saying.
So either we can say that everything is the will of the only existent one, which is being, or we can say we can forget about all concepts, including will. See, it is just like on the basis of the seeming affliction, we have to give some seeming remedy. You say, I'm feeling a lot of guilt about what I did yesterday. Krishna says, you are mistaken, Arjun.
I had some burst feeling.
That's okay.
It's not the same.
I'm coming there.
Oh, for one point. Mama coming?
Can we honest?
Yeah, please.
Only here for that.
Yeah.
The rest is just small talk.
No, see, I like coming to Satsang, but Bhaiya doesn't.
Really? So you are coming to Satsang when you're small.
He doesn't.
So if you say that I feel so guilty, how can I, or could I have done this? Or I feel so proud, I did such a fantastic thing. Then the master can come like Krishna and say, but what are you considering yourself to be? You are neither the doer nor the experiencer of your action, all is the will of consciousness. Once you see that you are the unchanging self, all these concepts are really not needed. Because even the will of consciousness implies some cause and effect. When we use terminology, that it is the will of consciousness, therefore it is that. But actually, what is the simpler Whatever is the will of consciousness. So it is two ways of saying the same thing. You can either say what is, or you can say the will of consciousness. You with me? So only the self is, and the self knows itself. But I was trying to see the but forming. It really started with that. Like, only the self is and the self knows. Yeah? It's literally like that in slow motion. Yeah, I can see the spaciousness which comes when something is hit home, and then I can see the mind will come itself. But
Same like you told them, yeah, I'm only here for this. And you're, the same applies to, I'm only here for those buts. No, in that same way.
to chop away, to wean away all these doubts. Empty of doubt, what I do.
Happy.
Empty of conceptualization, empty of any even spiritual fantasification. Many of us get stuck in that. They hear the words of Satsang and they make this fantasy world in their heads. You see? That's why it's very important for the master to tell you, no, don't have to go into any imagination, any visualization. Nothing. What is more than enough. No doubt. Very beautiful when Papaji said, don't just doubt. What do you see? God. You only see God. Anywhere you look.
But it's not in those concepts, because concepts sort of just come up
Yeah.
and you, but you know, sort of take part in it and
The
there's
function of the mind will continue to continue. It doesn't have to stop. Many of you will report that it seems a lot lighter. It seems to have a lot less frequency as well as intensity. But it doesn't have to stop. And that is also God. I'm saying it to be very happy. It is also God, but it is that aspect of God, that design of consciousness, which it uses as a tool to convince itself that it is not God, that it is something limited. Otherwise, how would you play in this fantasy? Nothing has to stop and nothing has to continue. I have looked at all these areas where we can still have concept about what life should be. As I come to my conceptless existence, as I come to my notionless existence, that part of my play, which is so empty of concepts compared to that part of the play which is so full of a conceptual existence. You might have this fear that I hope my life continues to be this way. And to that I am saying that nothing has to stop. And you might be saying that I hope my life changes. And to that I am saying that nothing has to continue. They can have no notion about what it should be or should not. And to make this point, I think that although it is said that after enlightenment, fetching wood, chopping wood, fetching water, before enlightenment, chopping wood, fetching water, after enlightenment, chopping wood, fetching water, or not. Cannot make any prediction. Many continue to remain kings. Many left their kingdoms and became sadhu. Many played as regular householders that we don't even know their names. Many became spiritual superstars who are well known all over the world. How the play of this will play out, we cannot predict. So the invitation is to drop even that notion of what should be, how it should play out. Are you comfortable being without any report about yourself? Not just what you're reporting to me, but to yourself. Because if you're not going to the mind for what to do and how did I do or where should I go, you're going to the mind for this. How's it going? Am I doing well spiritually? Yeah, you did all right. Yesterday was very peaceful. This is the mind's reporting, which is trying to make even a freedom an object for you to get. You all have said to me at some point or the other that if the pen of my autobiography was to drop right now, and not one word could be said about me after this, I would be completely fine. Yes? You said no? So now you stop making any report about yourself. If the world decides to continue to do some reporting about you, that is the world's problem. To all the reports which are coming from the mind, you give the forwarding address of the master. Better, easier. This one no longer exists here. Please forward all messages to Sadhguru.
You can't even say, at least I can't keep even say, that I'll drop the pen.
Yeah,
I can't even say
exactly. Just
that. I can't make that
even
decision.
before you even say, I am dropping the pen now. See, not even that. Just mid sentence. Finish.
It just,
Not even, not even, you know what I mean, right? You're saying the same thing. So just like, you can't even say something happened. This is emptiness, this is neutrality.
it's a choiceless choice.
Choiceless choice. All the but forwarding address to Guruji.
Not to worry for message is being for.
Yeah. That's exactly why you have forwarding address. It will be taken care of.
Yes.
Outsource your life.
Most easiest way.
So sometimes I tell all the ones who come to Satsang with me that Bangalore is famous for its outsourcing. All the customer care support that you must be dialing into must be all coming to Bangalore. So now you can outsource your life also to Bangalore.
Already done for. So,
There is no greater life. There is no better life than a surrendered life. Free from those afflictions of what is happening to me, what's in it for me. What is your idea before we go to the last? What is your idea of the best news you can get? Be honest, even if you say winning the lottery, it's okay. Suppose you got home today and you got the best news. What would that be? Whatever that best news might be, this what is is better news. What you're discovering about yourself is greater than any treasure you can find. Anything in the world that you might get. And where is it? It is already here now. Who is it for? It is for you. Your being is greater than any phenomenal object. It is where all phenomena gets its existence from. Your existence. You have misunderstood it to be personal. You have misunderstood it to be limited. Now we are getting over that misunderstanding. Don't have to clean up your tendencies. No conditions have to come. No conditions have to be given up. Already now, whoever you are, first satsang, 100 satsang, 1,000 satsang, in this moment, where all that is beyond all things that you can consider yourself to be. Nothing has to be done. Even doubt does not have to be dropped, it's already gone. I'm talking about now. I'm talking about you. I'm not lying. Thank you all so much for being in Satsang today. Guru Shri Muji Baba ki Jai.
सद्गुरु श्री अनंता जी की जय।